Hey everyone, Andrew Frech here, the View and Product Reviews. Today I want to talk to you about my thoughts on PetGlow's dog ear treatment as well as their itch relief spray and see if they're worth grabbing or not. So let's go ahead and dive into these two products and see if they're worth picking up. And by the way, I did receive this from PetGlow for free, so I don't have to return it or anything. So let's just go ahead and dive into these treatments. Alrighty, so I have here the spray that's going to be good for your dog's belly, and then the ear cleaner that's going to be good for cleaning out their ears. So I've been using these for about a couple weeks now, on and off. Honestly, I haven't been as good as I should have been, but even in the brief time using it, I did see some effectiveness with it that was really positive. So I'll go ahead and be talking about both of these here. First, starting with the ear drops for their dog's ears, and then the spray for your dog or cat, I guess, for their stomachs. So we're gonna go ahead and get into both now. So the eardrops right here have a broad spectrum use to it. So this does have oil leaf extract as well as chamomile. So it's going to be nice and soft in your dog's ears and not be very irritating to them. And it's supposed to help provide some relief from some itching, from scratchiness, and from any kind of buildup that you might have in the dog's ears as you're kind of going. So like, for example, if you see your dog shaking their head a lot, it just means they have something going on in their ears that needs to be cleaned out, and that's what this is going to be for. So you can use this from as low as 1 to 3 days and start seeing an impact on it. Now I did use this for probably closer to a week and then start seeing more of an impact, but it does seem to be effective. So from what I could tell, I was able to actually help clear out my dog's ears a little bit, and I did find that useful. And it's a super soft formula on your dog, so it's made from like herbs and also has no stinging to it, and so it is very soft and gentle when you do utilize it. But at the same time too, it is a little bit runny because it's more of like a water base versus kind of like an oily base to it. So some of them are thicker. This one is a very thin one, so just watch out because it just could spray everywhere when your dog shakes their ears. So he's a very much a shaker, and when that happens, it kind of just sprays all over the place. It's kind of irritating, but that's more on his resistance of getting his ears cleaned. And now we're going to get into the belly spray. This is designed to help against itching and kind of give them a little bit of relief, especially during those summer months when they might get some like a little heat rash and different kind of like heat related irritation, kind of like hives almost that people might get when you're out in the sun all day. So this is going to be helpful for that. And so like this works really well for my dog, for example. So he deals with a lot of heat related issues because he's a pug. So he's not exactly a big fan of being outside for very long. And when you go for like a walk or anything, it does make it a bit difficult on his stomach as well as just his overall body because he overheats quickly. And this one being antibacterial as well as being antifungal, it's supposed to actually help out with like hot spots, skin itch, and kind of like overall odor to make it a little bit nicer for your dog. Kind of cleans up the coat almost as well as the skin underneath it. It's got natural ingredients such as olive extract, neem, and turmeric, so that's super nice on the dog's skin and not really irritating. And I particularly like this one because it's a spray, so it's super easy to apply. I just get my dog to roll on his belly and do like the little belly trick, and then I can spray it on his belly. I leave it sit for about 30 seconds to a minute before I let him like get up and run around because he does have the tendency to rub himself against the carpet or the grass, and I prefer to let this kind of soak in as much as I can because I think that it helps with the formulas to help just kind of sit on the skin a little longer. And so you can kind of see what the formula looks like when it comes out of the bottle. I'll kind of put some on this plate here. So see, this one's very watery. See, it's just a watery substance. So because of that, it does mean that it's going to be a little bit trickier to actually clean your dog with this because it can just spray everywhere. And as far as this, because it's a spray, you do have a nozzle on top that you can change out for it, but I prefer the spray. This is the same thing, very similar consistency. It's actually even hard to see in the light, but this is also going to be a very watery substance, so it does make it a little more difficult to spray on, or to apply, but the spray makes it super easy. So I really prefer the spray part when I am applying any of this to my dog's stomach. And overall, I found this to be pretty useful. Usually I just get things like this from his vet, but because I can just get this from over the counter in a way, it does make it a little simpler to get versus having to go talk to the vet and to do the whole process there. So I do find that actually pretty easy. And these might not be as effective as those ones you might get from a vet, but they are effective. I will give it that. I have already seen the redness go down. The ears, he doesn't do as much shaking at this moment, and you can see how happy he is about the whole process. He doesn't take these very well, so it does make it a little difficult, but the it helps take care of him. So that's the biggest thing that helps out with that, is if it takes care of him and handles some of his irritations, then it's worth it. So thank you so much to PetGlow for sending on over the dog ear treatment as well as the itch relief spray. Until next time, I'm Andrew Frech, the View and Product Reviews. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.